All right, Leftovers at Midnight, episode whatever the fuck it is, with our guest Zach Johnson, aka Zachy J, former unclean vocalist of Icy Stars and Outer Glow. Welcome to the show, Zach. How you doing?
What's up? How you guys doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
Glad to have you.
Yeah, thanks for
having me.
thanks for coming on, man. We really appreciate it. It's gonna be a really kick-ass episode. We're very psyched.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Looking forward to it. So, how's everybody's week, last few weeks, month, year been so far?
Oh, it's been a fun week. It's been a fun week for me. I upgraded all my PC parts, and I have not been happier since World War II. It's been great.
World War II made you happy?
Well, I mean, yeah. Peace was afterwards. So, all's well that ends well, right?
Good fucking point, dog.
But yeah, I mean, you guys can. I mean, I can talk about the specific parts if you guys want, but like the easy explanation is that I essentially doubled everything that I was using. So like my processor is at least twice as good. I've got a twice as fast graphics card, and I've got way more storage, and everything just fucking works now. So it makes a huge difference in games like Call of Duty when you can actually see textures in higher than 8-bit. Like, you know.
Yeah, you're not running it on a fucking
frames.
You're not running it on a TI-84.
What sensitivity did I play on? I've got I think my mouse DPI is at like 4,000. So I'm a little twitchy.
Oh yeah, I forgot that most people, real gamers, play with mouses, not controllers.
Real gamers with the fucking mouse.
Pro gamer moves.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
I'm a controller guy.
Gotcha. If I'm playing something fast paced like Call of Duty or like Apex or whatever, I use a mouse and keyboard. But if I'm playing something like Halo, I'll use the controller. Like,
yeah.
it depends on what I'm doing. But
Grand Theft Auto 2 is good for controller.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. See, I play that game on mouse and keyboard.
I do both.
Which is weird. But it works. But yeah, actually, thanks to Robbie and Alex both, I had some initial issues with my first attempt, like putting the new build together. And I think it took maybe like 3 hours altogether to get everything like actually working.
Yeah, I was helping you at work.
I think it was somewhere around like 3 hours, but the first couple times I tried to boot everything, it just wouldn't turn on. So I ended up giving these guys a call and figuring some things out, and then I just unplugged all the cables, unplugged everything else, and started from the bottom, worked my way up, and then just boot. And
Okay, Drake.
So
From the bottom, now we're here.
now we're here.
Alex and I are what you would call
super fast.
big brains.
Oh yeah, big brain moves only.
5-head shit, dude. Not 4-head, 5-head.
9 heads.
That's the,
All 5.
oh yeah,
You got about 20 there, bud.
Alex doesn't have 4 or 5 head. It's just head.
Yeah.
It's just head. It's just head.
It's the only head he gets.
Oh boy, there it is. I was waiting for. I was gonna do it.
There it is.
I'm glad you did.
But yeah, that's the highlight of my year. So 2021's over for me. What about you, Kyle? What's new with you?
I mean, bro, everything's pretty much the same. I'm just chilling, working on my company and all that good stuff. We finally got our bank account. That's a nice thing.
Nice.
That's
And
exciting.
oh yeah, so today we're testing something. It's a little different. I wasn't really for it, but you know, I said screw it. We put ads in the newspaper.
Okay.
You know what's going to happen with that, right?
You're gonna get a lot of old.
It's going to
people.
get bundled up and used to start a fire in a grill.
Either that, or it's gonna be someone's bed mat.
Yeah.
Right
Or,
next to the
Dog's
obituary.
or dog's gonna be pissing and shitting on it.
right next
One
to
or
the
the other.
obituary, yeah.
Hey man, you know, I'm good with it. It wasn't that much. It wasn't as much as I thought it was gonna be, and I was like, okay, screw it. It's a fun little test. If things don't, if we don't get any extra traction from it, I'm just gonna keep blowing us up on Instagram, sending out our newsletter, and just doing things like that. Free marketing. But yeah, aside from that, just chilling, having a good time.
Good, man. I'm glad to hear that.
Hell yeah.
Oh, well.
Alex.
Okay. So my week has consisted of trying to get a new graphics card, which
Oh boy, here we
has-
go.
horrible, 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 horrible. I got to the point where I bought one tonight. They took the money out, and then they canceled the order.
Oh,
So
you
now I
actually
have no
bought
money
one.
and no I actually got to the point where they took the money out of my cart.
How much?
We're not going to talk about that.
Was
yes,
it
we are.
over 1,200 or under 1,200?
It was a 3090.
You wasted your fucking money, and I'm glad they gave it back to you.
No. I want to hear it. I want to hear it because of how long we've been hearing about getting a 3090. I want you to tell us how much you spent on that card.
No,
Yep.
not happening.
I'm gonna guess 2,300.
It was less than that.
Oh,
I'm gonna
It
guess
was
13.
less than 2.
Less than
I
2.
was gonna-
It's less than 2.
You overpaid either way, so
yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
mean-
there's
yeah.
it's that subtle flex. He could have. He did.
so you got blue
It's-
balled
yeah.
by a graphics card.
I did get blue balled. Thanks, Newegg. Don't sponsor us.
Oh man.
Don't worry.
Well,
Pretty
Anything
hefty
else?
price for a graphics card.
oh yeah, they're heavily overpriced now.
Yeah, because of
and now they're just out of
scalpers.
stock and overpriced.
Well, this is coming from a guy that doesn't know shit about computers. I just use user friendly shit, so word.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Through that.
Whatever
That's why
works, right?
How about you, Zach? What's new with you?
Shit, man. I just got back from North Carolina visiting my daughter. I hung out with her for like 5 days. We went bowling, trampoline park, all this shit that you're really not supposed to do during the quarantine. And I kind of got an earful via text from her mom. But yeah, I don't really get to see her that often. So I'm gearing up hopefully to move back down there one day. But yeah, I don't know. Other than that, I've just been making beats, going to work. I don't know, man. Watching a lot of Netflix, whatever you can do whenever I work in a restaurant. So like whenever the hours aren't picking up, like there's some days where I'll go there and like I'll get like literally like a 2-hour shift. And I'm just like, sweet.
Oh
Jeez.
shit.
Damn.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Just hanging out.
Yeah. My parents are actually in North Carolina right now. My dad got into a car. We were up there a couple months ago for Christmas. Well, actually, that was last month. And my dad got into a car accident while we were up there. So his truck was being repaired by the dealership. So they had to take a rental back down here to Florida just to drive all the way back up to get the car. And they're fucking coming home in a few days. And thank God that truck is fixed. They've had so many problems with it. So many fucking problems.
Damn, I'd say I'm jealous of you living in Florida, but I feel like it's kind of just like walking through a giant like swampy cloud because it's always just so fucking moist.
Yeah, swamp ass is a problem here.
Swamp Ass originated in Florida.
Not even gonna fucking lie,
Yep.
dude. Like, it's a fucking problem.
There's
yeah.
just
Yeah, we
cups of water in your underwear.
I mean, not
So
that
use some
much.
more deodorant.
That's a you problem, Alex.
Yeah.
If you can get cups with an S of water out of your underwear, then maybe you should go to a doctor.
You should probably see a real doctor about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get an Eric for this one.
What's that?
Said he's probably got a bad case of hyperhidrosis. If that's the case, you need to stop.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. There's an app for that though. It's fine.
Probably
It'll be
is. Called fucking Google and WebMD.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Too much
Yeah.
water coming out of my asshole. What's wrong with me?
You have the death.
Yeah, you have the black plague. Good luck, bitch.
Forever box.
Dysentery.
Dysentery, anthrax,
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
the usual.
COVID.
I mean, it's 2021, so anything could happen at this point.
Yeah, you never fucking know. Did you guys see there's a third mutated strain of COVID they found in LA?
Great.
Yeah,
That's fun.
it was called like SRB7. I don't know what the fuck, dude. Some like letters and
This is
numbers.
fucking Resident Evil.
It feels like
Probably.
it. Fucking feels like it.
Bro, why do you think I bought a new
2020
gun?
Prestige 1.
Bought a new gun to kill some zombies.
Hell yeah, dude.
Kind of
It's
gun
got,
you by Kyle.
it's got a rail mount on the bottom, bro. I'm gonna, put a little laser on that, play like real Resident Evil. Let's go. No, not really.
I mean,
Shit.
shit. At this point, I feel like that shit would at least be a little bit more exciting than just sitting at home watching Netflix. Like,
I know.
It's better
there
than
was zombies
VR.
and shit, like that would really test humanity.
Oh,
Survival
yeah.
of the shit, you know.
Have you
Oh,
gotten
100%.
bored of watching movies? Why not be in a movie?
Yeah.
Like,
Eric,
Why not go
voice
commit
just-
genocide on zombies?
yeah.
What
It's
kind of
not
guns you buy,
population
Kyle?
control. It's
up?
self-awareness.
What kind of guns you buy?
MMP shield.
Nice.
Yeah,
Is
dude.
that your first handgun?
Yeah.
Do you have a CWP?
Not yet.
Plan on getting one.
Yep.
Fuck yeah, dude. Me too.
Dude, ammo's so hard to find for 9mm. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
I have a box.
How much you
I
want
have
for
a
it?
box. I don't know, but I have a full box ready to go. So
How many rounds?
if you need it, I don't know, like 40. At least I don't know.
I'll give you
I'll
20
tell you about
bucks
it
for
later.
He's like, that's not enough. I need hundreds.
Yeah.
Oh,
I need
God,
a drum
dude.
round.
Bro, straight up, the only thing I could find is like bulk buying like 1,000 rounds, and they're like almost $1,000. I'm like, nope.
Yeah,
I
just
don't
get a
got- I
fucking
don't got that
banana
kind of money.
clip while you're at it. Like,
Yeah, you'd have
Yeah.
to get one of those. You have to get one of those Resident Evil things where like she shoots them and then drops the clips and like just, or maybe that's. I'm thinking of Tomb Raider when she like shoots
Yeah.
them all. and
Yeah.
like, just,
Yeah, you have like the speed loaders.
man, that
Yeah.
shit would be. Cool.
Yep.
Oh, that'd be so fucking cool. That'd be
Oh,
so much
man.
fun to just play with.
I've
So
never
is
shot
it-
a handgun.
You never shot a
Well,
handgun?
okay.
No, when I was like, I'm pretty handy with a rifle and a shotgun. Like, I'm pretty sure I like killed it on the clay pigeons and shit when I was like 12. But I haven't
Same.
shot since I was a kid. But
Yeah,
I'm
come to
sure
Florida.
I can handle it.
Oh
oh,
yeah.
yeah. I'm sure
I
it'll be
mean,
alright.
Knowing my dumbass, I'd probably just get like, if I did get a handgun, I'd probably just get an obnoxious one, like a big ass Magnum or some shit.
Oh,
Something
fuck
that knocks
yeah.
you in my head.
Oh, yeah.
knock
the
you on your
gold
ass while you
That's
shoot
what I
it.
do, though.
Like intimidating to look at, so I never have to actually shoot somebody. You know?
Yeah, it's like when people buy shotguns, you can just and they're like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll
Yeah.
leave.
Bro.
Goodbye. You win. I'll leave. Goodbye.
Bro, it's just the menacing sound of that pump. It's like, nope, 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 nope. I'm out.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. It's just evil sounding.
Yeah.
This is. I got some buckshot in this bitch. Like,
I promise you it's loaded. Just trust me, okay?
I'll spread your leg butter, baby. Let's go. Bury you right here.
Listen, I was planning on painting the walls, but not with you, okay?
Yeah.
Just go.
Don't I just got the
Yo,
walls
hey,
replaced.
Oh, yeah.
That's Kyle's job, is to destroy drywall.
Oh, yeah.
Drinking
man.
Monster punch walls.
I'm just saying it was a good business move for a while. But
Where's the monster when you need
It
it?
just it hurts a lot. I mean, funny enough, actually behind like all this stuff on these walls before I got everything redone in here, yeah, there was holes in the walls. Not because of me, it was because this used to be my brother's room. And
Is his name
Yeah.
also Kyle?
no, his name's Mike, and he used to be quite aggressive.
Oh,
I love him to death though.
Fucking Mike,
Now the
man.
numbers are all adding up.
Yeah, dude.
he used to beat up on you, or vice versa.
Vice versa.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm
I
the
don't want
alpha
to get into
male.
the story because it's not my place. But yeah, I mean, he's one hell of a barber now. I'll say that much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
found
he's
his
opened up his own
calling.
barbershop. Yeah, dude, he's a dope barber.
Maybe
Fuck
I'll
yeah.
come by sometime and I can have him give me a nice fade.
Hey, man, it's a specialty.
There you go.
His specialty is the Florida fade. That's what it is.
See, that either
A right
means
hook, a left
fight
hook.
to the death in the street or get your hair cut in Florida. So,
Pretty much,
It's,
yeah.
It's a 50-50 shot.
you
Like-
guys have you seen that meme of Tom Brady and it's like, hey Tom, how's Tampa? I can't even fucking. How's Tampa treating
I
you?
know
He's like,
exactly.
oh yeah, we just be cool and jit. And he's got like Kodak black hair and like fucking the photos all photoshopped where he's got a grill in. I was like,
Okay,
oh,
but,
No,
but why does it work? That's the best question. Why does it work?
because
Yeah.
almost everybody from Tampa calls someone a jit.
Oh yeah.
is it? I thought like it's just a high school thing.
I don't know,
No.
dude. I've asked
I
people
don't
that
even know
like
what that is, yo.
exactly. It
Yeah.
just means like
It-
younger person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a younger like scrub.
Just JIT, a jit.
Yeah,
JIT
JIT.
or GIT, one of the two. Git.
I think it's
Jit,
JIT.
JIT.
GIF.
I think it's JIT. JIT.
Shit.
Is
Yeah.
it the GIF GIF?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, us Yankees don't say that shit.
Yeah.
You're from New
Speaking
York?
of which,
Are you from New York?
Hell no, I'm from Michigan.
There you
Oh,
go.
so what's up? That's where
Yeah.
the other half of my family's from. They're all from Benton Harbor, Michigan.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess when you say Yankee, you think of New York, but a
Yeah.
lot of people down south, like if you live anywhere past West Virginia, they consider you a Yankee.
Yep. Back in my redneck days.
You have
I
camo
can
bed
attest.
Well, that's
sheets.
the last week.
You have
Bro,
camo bed
shut
sheets.
up. Sure. Yeah, I got camo bed sheets, 3 cowboy hats, 5 belt buckles, 6 trucker caps, and like 4 pairs of boots down here. That doesn't mean nothing.
Alabama has entered the chat.
That ain't mean shit, boy.
That don't mean shit, boy. You know where I come from? I'm from good old Ocala, Florida. You don't know nothing, boy.
Ocala.
Where's my dip can at?
Oh, you're from Ocala?
Oh god.
Yeah.
Can't you tell?
Yeah.
Hey man, I left
Sorry.
that behind me a long, long time ago.
Yeah,
Actually,
just
I
because
was-
it's behind you in your chair doesn't mean it's actually behind you.
I
You know there's a difference, right?
I'm not gonna lie. I have a hoodie over here on the side that does not fit me anymore, but it has a little pouch just for your dip can. Keeps it
You
warm
are
in the
such a
winter.
fucking hick, Kyle. Oh my god, I love it.
Oh, bro.
You got
Yeah.
you have like that plastic water bottle that has just the brown juice of saliva. Just
Oh,
Bro, I shit you not. I literally threw one out in my truck that's probably been in there for like 3 or 4 months. Probably longer than that. It's probably been there for like 3 or 4 years.
You haven't even had that truck that long. What the have you?
Bro, everything migrated from my old truck into this
I was
truck.
gonna say
Actually,
because
well, I've only had the truck for 2 years,
just
so
moved everything.
yeah.
Everything, picked it up, and put it in the new one.
yeah,
That's
I
it.
need that dip can. I need that dip cup.
I need these cup holders.
Yeah.
Hey man, I got the messed up gums to prove it.
I made the mistake of going to a store called Rural King. That's like
Oh,
it's like
heaven.
redneck heaven. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
like
yeah,
I went there originally a couple of years ago to buy a handgun. I was like, all right, security guard where I work told me to buy this one. They have it here. I'm gonna go take a look at it. And there's just like people walking around with fucking like wide mouth bored Gatorade bottles full of like brown dip spit. I'm like, why? And then I realized I was at Rural King, which is fucking Hick City. Like they sell guns, live animals, like fishing gear, hunting gear. It's like, yeah, they sell like
Yeah.
baby chickens and stuff there, and like chicks. I'm
y'all
like,
have any? Y'all have any Confederate flag banana hammocks in bulk?
Yes.
Hell yeah,
They
we
there's-
do.
do.
yeah,
Don't
hell
even-
yeah,
Aisle,
brother.
aisle 15. Check
People
it
are
out.
fucking.
They're right next to the John Deere's and the Sister Blow Up dolls.
Yeah, they're snarling at you on your way back. I'm like, what the? Yeah. Like if you're from the South, you can just do that
Yeah.
noise.
Yeah, that was a good old mating call. You know, you do that, you pick a girl up at a bar, it's a good old dive. And you know,
Pick your
next thing
sister
leads to
up.
another, you're in your truck, you're making out, tongue slip in the ear, clean that thing out real good, nice and yeah.
It sounds like a weird dream that you had with your sister.
This sounds haunted.
No, that was just me in high school, my ex-girlfriend. Not even gonna joke.
Oh,
My-
okay.
Dude, the vice principal used to come up to us, or the APs used to come up to us, and he's like, he came to me one day, he's like, he whispered in my ear, this is a true story too. He's like, you're a little deep in there, aren't you? I'm like, yeah. Just middle of the lunchroom. We had like an outside like lunch areas. We were in like the middle table of that. It was wild.
So let me get this straight. Your girlfriend at the time, you were tongue punching her ear.
Yeah. I was tongue punching her ear after I got done tongue punching her throat. It was yeah.
Word.
Yeah, dude. I was wild in my young days.
I think she could probably hear real good.
She could.
Cleaning out all the winners.
Yeah, thank God she never did it to me because I couldn't hear half the things she said.
Well, your mom's an ENT, so you learned how to clean ears, I guess.
I did. Yeah, man, you gotta, you know. Well, that's
You
on there
pull
for
out
some
a
reason.
tool.
But yeah, man, you use like this little eardrop stuff, cleans everything out real good.
Yeah, I put mineral oil in my ears, dude. When I went to an ENT
I
to
do
get
that
my
too.
ears cleaned, he's like, "Huh?" I was like, "Is it that bad?" He goes, "Yeah." He tried to pull some. This is getting kind of gross, like a layer of earwax off my eardrum.
Yep.
And it hurt so bad.
Oh,
I had to
it
put
feels
mineral
so bad.
oil on my ear or like in my ear like twice a day for 2 weeks.
Yep.
And it still
Ugh.
hurt when he pulled it off. I was like, no wonder my tinnitus is so fucking bad.
Yep. I still
Oh,
have problems
damn.
after getting my ears cleaned.
Yeah. But
Yeah, that's why I have that. I have like a actual like medical solution for my ears because I have like everyone knows I get eczema on the sides of my hands and whatnot. But it happens inside my ears too. I found out. Didn't realize that.
you got
Yeah,
eczema.
that'll
feel your pain, dude. I get eczema just on the bottom of my like underneath my bicep. That's the only place on my entire body I get it. It's fucking weird.
See, I just get it on like the side of this hand right here, and it's usually either from like stress will flare it up, and certain fragrances like in soaps and things like that, which makes it hard. I have to wear gloves now when I do my job because I make candles and we handle a lot of fragrances and things like that. So that was probably causing the
You have
irritation.
a hard time with body wash and shit like that. Like just use like baby body wash. That shit fucking.
Yeah, I go to this I get stuff from this company called Honest. It's all non-scented, like super organic. They use like oatmeal and stuff. It's just I get their conditioner, I get everything. I feel like a baby when I walk out. I'm like, woo, let's go.
So you're a Target shopper? That's what
Is it?
that's where they get it.
I don't know. My cousins ordered for me like one time. I use it all the time.
So you go to Target.
I think I've been to Target a total like 12 times in my life.
12.
I heard he was talking about what's in that body wash, and I'm just imagining a scenario where he like meets somebody like, "Ooh, what kind of body wash do you use? You smell organic. I use oatmeal." Like,
can I get real close up on him? Is
fucking reeking of eucalyptus.
I use Quaker whole oats. Like, okay.
But like baby shampoo and shit, that stuff's amazing. Like I have to bathe my my little corgi with baby shampoo because no other kind of soap or shampoo works on him because he just gets so itchy, and I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you spoiled little brat? So I have to go buy Dr. Bronner's.
Dr. Boners?
I just heard him say, I have to wash my, like, I thought it was just gonna be like, yeah, I wash my with baby shampoo.
Yeah, I wash my balls with it, you know.
So there I was, hog in hand.
With all the swamp ass. You gotta use baby
get one of those hand towels and just start rolling them back and forth.
Like that
How
scene
else do you get the cups out
from fucking Meg from a Family Guy where she's like towel drying herself. Fucking love that show.
Walrus flossing.
It's good.
Flossing your taint? Okay.
It's like a walrus flossing.
I know what you said.
Okay, I was making sure you heard me.
What you said. We're just not
It's
trying to
earwax.
acknowledge
I know what I said though.
I don't know what you said, honestly.
We don't
repeat it.
All right.
Illegal. It's inappropriate. It's a family friendly show.
Okay. Yeah, welcome to my Christian Minecraft server.
Yeah.
And that's my line. What the fuck?
Bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. Eric, I've been hanging out with you too damn long. Like, dude, I've picked up on so many of your damn mannerisms.
You're welcome.
So you guys got some questions for me, huh?
Yes, I was just gonna get to that.
We do. It was out the window for a little while.
Yeah.
Robbie, I would love for you to go first.
I was about to say the same thing. Come on, Mr. Fanboy.
Mr. Fanboy, he says. Okay. So I'm not gonna ask all three of the questions I have at first. So we can just kind of go in a circle. Or fucking whatever shape.
Good old circle jerk.
Yeah. So before we ask any questions, tell us a little bit about yourself and what's going on and your side of the story. For people who don't know.
Side of the story. My side of the story of what?
Of your departure from Icy Stars.
Okay. Well, it's a long story, but I'll try to make it as short as possible.
I'll buckle up.
So, I'm trying to think of what year it was. Basically, I ended up getting my girlfriend at the time pregnant, and then at first I was kind of just like, yeah, well, I'll still be able to tour this and that, and it got to the point where like they kept on like bringing up all these tours and stuff that they wanted to do, and it was right after my daughter was born, and the reason why I didn't want to do the tours had nothing to do with like, I mean, at that point she was an infant, so like she probably wouldn't have even noticed if I was gone. But they kept on wanting to do tours with all these bands that we've already toured with, like The Word Alive and like we've toured with The Word Alive so many times in the past, and like it pretty much none of the tours were tours that like would have made us have any gains really. Like when you're in a touring band, it's like you want to tour with bands that you've never toured with, so potentially their fans will start listening to your music or things of that nature, you know? So eventually we ended up playing the show in Mexico, and the night before we did a whole bunch of illegal substances, nose snacks and whatnot, and got super drunk. So the night after that, or the day after that, when we played the show, I was like ridiculously hungover. I felt like shit. So like I drank probably like a good like half and a quarter of a fifth of Fireball
Ooh.
before I played. Yeah, like before going on to any of this, like I don't drink anymore. I'm a recovering alcoholic. That actually is a huge part of the reason why I'm not in the band anymore. There's several stories that have to do with that. Like one time I got really drunk and started wrestling all the guitar techs from Of Mice and Men. And like apparently I was just fighting really dirty. Like I'm pretty sure I healed this one kid in the face and like in the nose, and like he was bleeding from the nose. Austin Carlisle stepped in and like pinned me down to the ground, and like I didn't want to look like a bitch, so like I grabbed him by the wind tunnel and like squeezed his throat, and like pretty like violent shit. There was a couple of shows that like I just got way too wasted before I played it, and like it's not that I didn't scream well, but I was just acting a fool on stage, and it was very obvious that like I wasn't acting professional. Like in my mind, I was just like, oh, I look like a badass rock star. I don't give a fuck. But like realistically, like there was probably other people that were just like, this motherfucker is weird. Like, what the fuck is he doing? And yeah, so on their side of it, I do believe that like my alcohol abuse had a large reason why they wanted to let me go. But the reason why I was so salty at first is because like they didn't really like come out and just say, hey dude, like there had been multiple times where they'd be like, yo man, like you really need to like take it easy. And like I would take it easy for a little bit, but like when you're an alcoholic, like once you pick it up, you don't put it down, you know? So it would get worse again. And the reason why I got salty about the way they let me go is because like they practically left me in the dark of like letting me go of the band for like almost like a year and a half. Like we played that show in Mexico, and then next thing you know, like I'm going to check the band email to see if we have any upcoming tours, or like if we're gonna record again or what. And like I go to check the band email and the password got changed. So I asked the bass player, Jeff or whatever, and I'm just like, hey man, I can't get into the band email. Like, why can't you like why can't I get in? Did you change the password? And he's just like, no, we didn't change the password. No, we didn't change the password. That went on for months. Eventually, before you know it, I get a text from Devin, and he's just like, hey, just so you know, we're dropping an acoustic album next week. Blah blah blah, this and that. Like they didn't invite me to Michigan to have any part of recording it, this and that. I mean, obviously at this point I pretty much knew that like I was probably not in the band anymore, but they continued to just like drag it along. With that being said, also like super unprofessional whenever it came to me like getting my royalty checks and things of that nature. Like I knew when they would get them, and whenever they would get them, like they would always send it to me like weeks, if not months later than they were supposed to give me my cut. And then I guess after they finally mustered up the courage, like they basically just gave me a group phone call, and basically were just like, yeah man, we're kicking you and Jimmy out. Like we don't want to continue, we don't want you guys to continue being in the band anymore. So like the way that they tried to promote it in all their interviews and stuff, like on Warped Tour, like they tried to go about it being like, oh yeah, like we just had creative differences, and like pretty much try to make it like as mild mannered as possible, which from a PR standpoint I completely understand. But then I would go on to see these interviews and stuff, and like some of it got under my skin, I guess. But yeah, I don't know, like there's this one interview where Devin was just like, yeah, like Zach's in this new band Outer Glow, like me and Zach are really good friends, like he's still my best friend, this and that. And like me and this kid never talk. Like he was just saying all this shit to make himself look good, and like that kind of made me salty. And like realistically, it took me a long time to admit to myself that I was an alcoholic, A, and B, that's probably the reason why they like pretty much forced me out of the band, which is understandable, dude. Like I was a mess, like I was partying way too hard. I understand that. I just think that after you would be in a band with people for fucking 10 years, that they would just have the balls to man up and just be like, listen, dude, your drinking has become a problem. Like, you fucked up a couple shows. Like, sometimes you get violent. Like, we don't want to be around that. I just kind of wish that they were like, I guess in a sense, like just not so cowardice about it happening. Like, I just wish that they didn't leave me in the dark, and that's kind of what happened. And all the shit that they did in the interviews, I mean, like, they were very good at masking it, and like, I still care about those dudes, so I didn't want to like sabotage them and like come out right after I kicked out of the band and be like, oh well, fuck those guys, they left me in the dark. It's just like, no man, like, we're not friends anymore. We don't talk anymore. The only person that I hung out with a couple times afterwards was the drummer Andio, which was basically the reason that I joined the band. But yeah, man, that's pretty much my side of the story and their side of the story, I guess.
Damn.
Word. So I have other questions, but just based off what you said, is like your feeling at the time when you were let go, we'll say, is that where the song Shadows came from? Because song was really good, but it was, you could tell it was very like emotional and raw.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's funny, like, that song actually, I did a guest vocal appearance for this local band called Guard My Ways, which at the time was he was like this one kid that threw a house show in North Carolina when I was living down there. And this one day I ended up going over to his house, and he was showing me some demos of his band, and he was like, yeah man, like, you should do a guest vocal cover, I guess, whatever, because blah blah blah, here's this song with Zach from Icy Stars, try to give them some whatever, give them some hype for me being on the track. And then eventually I kind of like stole their guitarist and like did the Therefore Farewell thing. Like, I was just like, hey, me and you should start a band. Like, this kid was like a crazy guitar player, like the type of kid that can do like metal sweeps and just like a ridiculously talented guitar player. So I ended up trying to start a band with him, and then he ended up kind of losing it. He just like got super hard into drugs. Like, we were all living in this like kind of flop house type thing where like all these kids from college and shit would come over every single night. Was like a rager, like just half gallons, smoking blunts and shit like that. And he ended up getting kicked out of the house. So then my roommate at the time, Chris, he was just like, all right, how about me and you just start a band? And that's how Outer Glow came about, basically. So yeah, that song is about Icy Stars. And like yeah, I was a super huge drunk mess when I wrote that song. I listen to it nowadays and I'm just like, the little beats and shit in it are pretty cool, but it's kind of a poor written song.
Usually the most like emotional and raw songs they sound the best to me because you can feel it through that.
Definitely a lot of pain behind that track for sure.
Yeah. Understandably though.
My first actual question for you is just, have you noticed your passion for music has kind of lowered at all? Have you lost some of that since you're not in a touring band anymore and you're not working with a whole group of people that have that kind of fame, I guess?
No, like, not at all. I mean, that's the thing. Like, when you're in a band, like, the thing about Icy Stars is like every single member of that band, like, we all knew how to use like DAWs and shit, and we all knew how to write demos, and like we all would pretty much, like, every single one of us could write full songs. So it pretty much was just like we would all write songs, and then whichever ones made the cut. But I never really had any like freedom when it came to like lyrics and shit like that. Like, I pretty much was just like the hired gun, basically. Like, I could scream, and like I would pretty much scream their lyrics. Like, I think on the entire album of New Demons, like there might have been like one song that I wrote the actual lyrics to. Like, the Oliver brothers are very, very protective of being the people that write the lyrics for it. Like, so nowadays, now that like I just have full creative control, like, I don't know, man. Like, I wouldn't say that I've lost passion for it. Like, I still have the same passion for it, but I just do it for myself nowadays. Like, I'm not gonna like go all over social media and like post shit all the time, like trying to promote it. And like, I have no aspects of like trying to tour again. If there was some band that was like really successful and they asked me to be the vocalist and like I knew I was going to get paid enough to support myself and support my daughter, then sure, I'd probably go back on the road and I'd probably do a better job because I'm sober now. But I haven't lost passion.
Yeah.
It's more so just like
It's in a different direction.
yeah, it's just like I just do it for myself. Like I'll always write music until the day I die. It's just I'm not really as thirsty, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense though.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to grow up sometime, right?
True.
enough.
Yeah.
Very, very true.
It's true.
Who wants to go
You,
next?
well, you mentioned earlier how you were listening to that song and you're like, I like the beats about it, but I don't care for the words that I wrote. Do you ever listen to any of your songs afterwards at all? You ever put it on and, driving in the car, you're like listening to your own jams or anything like that?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of embarrassing to be honest because like I truly am like that's why I'm so passionate about my own songs that I write is because like I just know for a fact that I'm my biggest fan. Like I love the work that I do. I don't expect any of it to blow up, but all the stuff that I write nowadays is like just right up my alley. Like the stuff that I make nowadays is more so just kind of like hip hoppy, like pop, like Post Maloney type shit. It's super cookie cutter type stuff, but like I still try to make like no matter what, like just my style of writing is very like melancholy. Like it's always about sad shit. So like for some reason I like to make songs that are almost ironic where like the beat sounds super happy, but all the lyrics are like sad. So like I don't know, like I like my music to confuse people kind of.
I like that.
That makes sense though.
It's good.
But to answer your question, I mean, yeah, I listen to my own music all the time.
I mean, I listen
Bullshit,
to
though.
my music too. I can't even lie. It's a thing.
Yep.
I mean, if you don't love the shit you're doing, why even do it, you know?
Exactly.
That's fair.
You're
Makes
exactly
sense.
right.
Eric, Kyle.
So I can go ahead and ask the big question. This was just kind of something that I thought of on the fly. But whether it was with one of the groups that you worked with or with your own music, when did that moment kick in that you realized it was gonna like take off for you, as far as whether that's like financially taking off or like popularity wise? Like when did that kick in for you? And if you can just kind of walk us through like what that was like.
Word. Okay. Well, like we used to always play this venue called MySpace Cafe back when MySpace was popping.
Wow.
So like before that happened, all the local bands and shit used to play at like VFW halls and shit like that. Like,
Mhm.
and like nobody would make fucking any money from it. Like there was very rarely would like a national act come through and play those shows. Like it was
Mhm.
literally just like only local bands, you know?
Yeah.
So we started playing this venue called the MySpace Cafe, and then it got to the point where like we pretty much just became their house band, and we played every single weekend there. Like we would go to school during the week, and then we would play a weekend, and like almost every single show we would play, like it would always be sold out. Like it was like a huge community of just like people that like dug our tunes, kind of like it was weird. And then eventually, once they moved to a couple of venues and like they actually got like this, like it was like this abandoned factory they turned into a venue. Then they started playing, like they started having national acts coming through, like such random ass people. Like we played with Amir, like we played a show with fucking Afro Man. It was fucking weird. Yeah, like that's one of my claims to fame.
Yeah.
That's cool as shit though.
Afro Man. But yeah, so we ended up playing the show with Amir, and their lead singer saw us play. And he ended up like contacting Sumerian Records, and they sent an A&R out to come see us. And I guess at the moment that it really hit me was kind of like we were in the record label owner, Ash Avildsen. We were in his house in California, and that's kind of when it sunk in, when I was just like, holy shit, like we're about to start touring and stuff. And it was weird. Like we recorded our first album, and then I quit the band for a year and a half for, ironically, the girl that I'm with now. And we ended up I ended up joining back in the band, and like when it really, really hit me is when we went to go play Warped Tour. Like I was working at Del Taco at the time, and literally 3 days later on Warped Tour, like when I rejoined the band. So like
That's
I guess
cool.
the true moment when it hit me, when I was like, oh, this could actually be something, is like when I was looking at the crowd of like hundreds and hundreds of people at Warped Tour. Like that's when I was just like, oh, this shit's real.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Okay, right on.
That's
Right on,
fucking
that's great.
dope, dude.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a question that I kind of thought of like 3 questions
I don't
ago.
like, yo, if it comes to anything that has to do with like substances and shit like that, like I really don't give a fuck talking about it. Like, yo, like I used to party probably harder than anyone you know. So like I have thousands of stories. Like if you don't feel uncomfortable asking me about that, if that is one of the questions, just saying.
It is that I love how you nailed it right on the head. It's just like everyone had like really upbeat questions. I didn't want to drag us back down that rabbit hole, but that's one of the things that interests me, mainly because a lot of my cousins and like people and friends in my like not in my family, but that have surrounded my family. I've seen them go through that. I've seen people go through it. I've seen people die. So it interests me, and my question really, truly, to get down to it, is so in the music industry specifically.
Sure.
So what really bring a lot of artists, either have alcohol addiction or drug addiction. What do you think really like? How does someone fall into that while they're in the music industry and touring and things like that?
Oh gosh, man, it's so easy. Well, first off, I mean, like, there's so many factors to it. For me, it was like, just like, it's funny. Like, there's a lyric in one of the songs from Icy Stars that where it's just like basically like, uh, the party's over basically, but like you're still doing it. Really, it's just like
Mhm.
for me, it was just like the easiest way to fall into it is because like once you get like quasi established, like once we're in like the bandwagon or the bus or whatever like that, it's like people think it's so cool to just hang out with like these so-called rock stars. Like everyone thinks that these people up on stage are rich and shit like that. It's like, dude, it's all just that's not real. Like
Mhm.
the way that they act on stage and shit, it's literally acting. Like all of it comes like it's just all of it's free, man. Like people just come up on your fucking bus and like, here's a half gallon of Jack, here's a half gallon of
Damn.
Fireball. We brought a half ounce of weed to smoke with you. I have some cocaine. Do you guys want some ecstasy? Do you want some free shrooms? Do you want some free acid? And it's just like, yeah, I do.
Yeah,
It's free.
I at the time, dude, like because like there was definitely a point in time where my partying, like I was going hard every day, but it was because I was celebrating us killing shows, and I was celebrating, like I was just like in the limelight, like my version of the limelight. So like I feel like it's super easy to fall into because it just becomes a habit where you do it all the time, and then next thing you know, you're waking up in the morning and you're drinking just to get rid of your hangover, and then once you start drinking, it's just like it's just part of the rock star lifestyle, man. Like that's why I'm like crazy envious of like motherfuckers like John Bon Jovi and stuff. Like he's just famously sober, and like he's always been sober. Like he just doesn't do it, and like I think that has a huge part for artists' longevity. I mean, look at how many great artists have been taken from addiction. I mean,
that's fair.
fucking Amy Winehouse and shit. Like it's just part of the music industry like culture. I mean, it's just like you play a show, and then after you play the show, everyone goes to the bar, people buy you free drinks. I think the hugest factor is just like you don't have to pay for it, man. It's just handed to you. It's just sat right on your lap, and shit, man. If anyone is offering you free drinks every single day for like months at a time, and then next thing you know, you're home and you go to the bars at home, and all your friends are like, "Holy shit, you just got back from a tour. I'm buying you drinks," and it's just like I barely ever had to pay for it, man. So like,
Yeah.
it was super easy. Like I don't know, man. But also like I'm a firm believer that like I feel like the addiction gene is a real thing, and like I
No, of
unfortunately
course.
I was just one of those people that was born with it, man. Like because all the other dudes in Icy Stars like would look at me and they're just like, dude, you're an alcoholic. Like you need to stop drinking so much. And like I would kind of look at them like they're crazy. And I'm just like, motherfucker, you drink with me every single night. Like you're
Yeah.
drinking right next to me. Like I don't have a drinking problem. Like this is just what we're doing. And then I got to the point where it was just like, oh yeah, now I'm fighting people and shit, fucking slapping people in the face, breaking their nose and shit. It's just like some people can control it, some people can't, man. And unfortunately, I was born with that gene that I just can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, man, that sounds fucking that just sounds rough. It sounds shitty. Uh, I mean, an issue's an issue, and addiction's an addiction. It's something that ends up kind of controlling your personality, controlling your life. It's hard for people to escape and break from, and hard to see that they have that issue. And I mean, really and truly, that's what sucks about it. And that's why I just don't like it. I mean, given my dad, he was an alcoholic. Uh, Now he's sober, thank God. That brushed off on me when I was younger, and I mean, I kind of, but I mean, I was going through a huge depression spell. Man, my fiance cheated on me, and it was an issue. So I mean, I was just curious how it kind of goes down in the music industry. I didn't know if it was linked to a lot of depression or if it was just because ease of access and things like that.
Oh man,
So-
I can empathize and sympathize with you on that. Like literally, like basically right after I got kicked out of Icy Stars, my baby mama, like we were gearing up to get married and shit, and literally like a month before we were supposed to get married, I caught her cheating on me. And after I caught her cheating on me, like she basically was just like, weeks later, I ended up going to see her, and she basically was just like, yeah, like the reason why I did that is because of your drinking. Like I didn't want to be trapped in a relationship with somebody that's an alcoholic. Like I think that like her family too had struggled with addiction, and especially her being surrounded by that when she was younger, like it terrified her. And like, yo, man, like I get it. Like it's one of those things where it's like the step or whatever. Like I'm not even on that step yet. Like you got to go back and like try to find everyone that you wronged from your addiction and like pretty much tell them, yo, man, my bad. Like that wasn't really me. And it's hard
Yeah.
for people. It's hard for people to understand, man, because like really, like you'll never fucking understand unless you're an addict. And like all I can say is like, dude, you gotta empathize with them. Like if you don't have that trait, you'll never know what it's like. Like
You're exactly right.
when you first stop quit drinking, it's just like it's rough to even like drive down the street and like see a liquor store. Like in Michigan, there's fucking liquor stores like every 2 blocks, and it's just
Oh,
like
yeah.
driving down.
Wow.
It's just driving down the street, and I'm just like, oh shit, it's fucking everywhere, man. Like that's another reason.
I
That's
mean-
another alcohol, because like it's so easy to get a hold of. You know?
I mean, especially,
Mm.
I mean, that's not talk shit about Michigan or anything, but in a place like Michigan or Indiana, man, that's all there really is to fucking do.
True. That's
Yep.
true as fuck. It's part of the Michigan. It's part of the Michigan culture, man. Like there's thousands of people in Michigan, I'm sure, that are alcoholics that don't even fucking know it. Because like, I mean, you can be an alcoholic and be functioning, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like if you drink beer, if you drink multiple drinks every single day without a rest, like, dude, you're an alcoholic. Like if you got a killer ass job and you got it under control, that's dope. But it's gonna suck when you got dialysis and you're dying of liver cancer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know
It's
what
still an
I'm saying?
addiction.
I mean, that's
And unfortunately for me, like that's what it would have turned into. So I mean, like,
yeah.
yeah, man, like I checked myself into rehab and shit. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like I'm not perfect. I've had a couple relapses, but yeah, like
That's
I'm
pretty
back to the track where like now I'm almost like a month sober again, and it's just like, dude, it's a rough road. Addiction is
Yeah,
a hard ass.
definitely.
Good.
Good for
Congrats,
you,
man.
man.
Yeah, man, good on you.
That's
I
good.
mean, I'm just glad you saw what was happening, you saw light, and you're out of it. But now I kind of want to do sort of the conversation a little bit. I don't know if it
Yeah,
feels for
pretty
anyone that's getting heavy,
Pretty
but
happy we can ask some lighter questions, but I just
Uh,
want
you
to
know
get out there, man.
yeah.
Well,
You're
hopefully,
good.
what?
I was gonna say you're good. Like
Say, hopefully, my question isn't dark, but what happened with Outerglow? Because your record was amazing, and I needed more of it, and it's not there. Where
Oh,
is it?
God. That is interesting question, and I am more than happy to tell you that. So basically, like me and the relationship of the other vocalist was just very, very strange. Like, I don't know, like I'm not gonna talk a whole bunch of trash about the kid because I'm better than that. But to be fair, it got to the point where I just realized that I didn't really think that he was a good person, and I was going down the deep end after my baby mama cheating on me. I was like, I was very, very deep into alcoholism at the point, and I was living in the house. Like the house we were living in had fucking mice crawling through it. It didn't have air conditioning in it. In North Carolina, that shit is no bueno. It's fucking hot as shit. It was just like and like things kind of cleaned up here and there, but also we were trying to shop around for labels and stuff like that, and like we were getting tour offers and stuff, and a couple of the other bandmates were basically just like, yeah, like they all had really good jobs and shit, and they just didn't want to tour. Like they were just like, oh yeah, well, like we can't go on tour unless we're gonna make money. Like I got bills to pay, this and that. And I pretty much was just like, dude, you don't understand. Like, if you want to start a band from the beginning and get like recognized and eventually get signed and shit like that, like you have to tour and get paid nothing and eat nothing but McDonald's and shit. Like for Icy Stars too, like it wasn't just like overnight, boom, we're in a fucking bus. Like we had to bust our ass for fucking 4 or 5 years before we were even in a bandwagon, you know? Like it's not for everyone, man. The tour life is really hard, and I just feel like they wanted to kind of just be hometown heroes, and that really wasn't where my head was at or my heart. Like I really just wanted to like give it one more shot, and like I ain't even gonna lie, man. Like I kind of dipped on him. Like I was fucking super not happy with what was going on with me and the other vocalists. Like I kind of thought he was a very toxic person, especially for a person that's an addict. Uh, there were times where he would like take advantage of the fact of like me being an alcoholic. Like whenever he would want to do something and I didn't want to do shit, like he would just be like, he would know I'd be broken shit, and he'd be like, "Oh well, if you do this, like if you come with me here, like when we get back, like on the way back, I'll buy you a bottle." And it was just like, dude, of course I'm gonna do it. I don't have any alcohol. I need it.
Yeah.
At least I thought I needed it. But like, yeah, he would do
Yeah.
fucked up shit like that. I ended up just losing it, man. Like I ended up losing it, and I fucking just came back home to Michigan, man. Like I was at my lowest low. I hit rock bottom, and I had to come back home to Michigan just so I could be with my family. It really sucks that I don't get to see my daughter. I mean, like for a time there, like it was going so like her mom would have her for 5 weeks, and then I'd have her for 5 weeks, so I'd still see her all the time. But once school started, this year has been super rough with the pandemic and shit too. So like I've barely gotten to see her this year. But yeah, man, I miss Outerglow. Like Outerglow, the guitar players for Outerglow, they were some of the most talented musicians I've ever worked with. The two guitar players, Paco and Candon, they're just ridiculously good at guitar. I loved writing with them because normally in other projects that I would try to start, I basically had to do everything because like even the one kid, he was really good at playing guitar, but he couldn't write for shit. So like I would have to like pretty much play a shitty version of it and then he would just like clean it up. But both those dudes, like I would pretty much just like make some electronics and make some drums and shit like that, and they would just throw like killer ass guitar shit over it. I miss that, man. Outerglow was sick, and I really wish that it would have gone somewhere. But I feel like me getting older has a lot to do with it too. Like I was just like, dude, I already lived the life for 10 years, touring around the world, playing shows and shit like that. Like I have a kid now. Like, am I really gonna starve for fucking years and years over and over again just to get that small 5-year run of my band being cool again? It's just like it's a lot more. That lifestyle is a lot more hyped up than it is, man. Like I said, everyone thinks that those people are rich. Like they're not, man. Like even the most successful people in like the metal scene and shit like that, like pretty much have enough money in their bank account to like have a normal house. Like nobody, the only motherfucker in the scene that was ever balling is fucking like Franz from Attila, and it's not because of his music. It's because he's a social media genius. Like he fucking knows how to promote like a motherfucker, and like that's why that motherfucker's paid.
Yeah.
Like, because trust me, dude, like you can't tell me that you feel something in your heart when you hear a fucking song that says let me get a Newport now and shit like that. Like
Yeah.
I get the appeal. I get the appeal to it, but like, no, dude, like that record ain't winning no Grammys anytime soon, homie. Like it's fucking like it's all fucking smoke and mirrors, man. Like I hate to like ruin little scene kid and like I don't know, emo kid, scene kids, whatever the fuck you call them nowadays. Like I hate to ruin their dreams, but like, dude, playing in the type of band that Icy Stars was in, like it's no fucking walk around the park. Like a lot of the shit is rough. Touring year round is not fucking easy. Like you got to stay healthy. Like you'll go out there and play. If you don't stay healthy, it's hard to stay healthy when you're partying every day. Like eventually you just get burned out, man.
Word. That's
Understandable.
it's a good answer.
That's a really good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Alex.
So I kind of have a question. We'll go a little bit off track here, but when you first learned how to scream, did you teach yourself? Did you take lessons, or did you teach yourself and then take? You go ahead and answer that.
Okay. It's such a cliche answer, but like I guess like I kind of just like try to do it and I could. Like I didn't really like
I knew that was coming.
So
like,
fucking lucky.
I didn't like analyze like other screamers or anything like that. Like because before I joined Icy Stars, I actually used to kind of be like their little like roadie friend and shit like that. Like because the 4 members that are in it right now are like the original 4, and then I joined in later, and then the other guitar player joined in. But the main thing why Icy Stars ever put screaming in their music is because of the Michigan-based band called Chiodos.
Wow.
What we used to do is like before we only had like a couple songs that we wrote, like we would have like 3 of our originals we played, and the other 2 songs that we played at our shows were Chiodos covers. Actually, I'm trying to think of what the fuck songs they were. We used to play one song which is a super old school song that you can't even find the original version of it anymore, but it was called Expired in Goreville. You might be able to find it on their Pure volume if that still exists. But and then I think the other one is called like World's Best Friend or some shit like that. Like but
Yeah.
so like once we started playing that, they were like, okay, well, like none of us know how to scream. Like Devin didn't want to try to scream. Devin played guitar and sang at the time. He's like, I don't want to try to scream. Like I don't want to fuck my singing voice up. So this one practice, I tried to scream, and I could just do it. I wasn't really like that great at it. It was like just starting off. Like after 10 years of doing it, you learn different techniques and shit. I don't know all the technical terms. People call it fry screaming, whatever. Like I just tried to do different shit with my voice. But yeah. So after that year for Christmas, my mom got me the synthesizer, the Micron that I used to play on, and I joined the band, and the rest is history.
That's awesome.
Dope. That's
Cool
awesome.
shit.
That's awesome. Man, I started learning how to scream when I was like 14. I was listening to an All That Remains song, and I was like, I want to do that. And I couldn't do it for like a fucking year. But you know, I'm 24 now, so 10 years later or whatever the fuck, I've learned certain techniques, and yeah, it's not easy. So you are one lucky motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I used to just do like the false chord type shit. Like
Me too.
Like see, man, like I don't even scream anymore because like I just sing now, and I'm not trying to fuck my voice up. So
Yeah.
like I don't even scream. Like there's like a handful of people that have asked me to like do features or whatever, like to scream on their tracks, and it's just like in order for me to like completely fry out my vocals again and like have to take 2 months for that shit to like recover, like I'd have to get a pretty decent chunk of change to like just put my project on stop. So like I just don't do it anymore, man. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I enjoy listening to my old screaming shit. Like I think it's cool. Like I jam out some old school Icy Stars here and there just for memories. But after listening to that kind of music all day long, fucking for 10 years straight, dude, like I can't even lie to you. Like I don't even listen to metal more anymore, man. Like the only metal that I really listen to is like shit that wouldn't even really be considered metal. Like I'll listen to some like A Day to Remember and shit like that, but like their shit is mostly pop punk. You know what I'm saying?
Florida boys.
Still the
Yeah,
good
bro.
stuff.
It's still the good stuff, bro. It's like a
Oh, yeah.
fine wine. It gets better with age.
Yes, sir.
It sucks, man. Icy Stars only toured with A Day to Remember one time, and it was throughout the year and a half when I wasn't in the band. I was so pissed off.
Oh,
That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I would have been
I know
livid.
that A Day to Remember like will always be like the hometown heroes of Florida. Like those motherfuckers will sell a show out overnight.
yeah. Wage
Oh,
War's
yeah.
coming up too. They're local-ish.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that track that they just had with Marshmello and shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
what I wanted. Like because like Icy Stars wasn't even supposed to remain like metal and shit. Like when we came out with our second album, we were trying to make the transition into becoming more of like a like straight radio pop punk band. But our fucking record label was just not having it. Like when we played the Jimmy Kimmel live show, like we wanted to play like this one song that we have called Still Not Quite Enough, which is like a straight up just like pop rock, like boys like girl type song. And like they were like, no, you have to play a song that has screaming on it or else your fans will get mad. And I was just like, bro, that was our one chance to like play a song in front of the entire fucking United States where like we could have like changed our demographic and probably sold a ton of fucking records, but like they just wanted us to like be kept in that pocket, I guess.
Yeah.
So then we fucking wrote the heaviest album we've ever written after that.
Dang.
Good
Hell
album.
yeah.
and then just made it even more heavy, and then now it's just like whatever it is now. I don't know what to call it.
I've got a new Demons basketball jersey I picked up at Warped Tour one year, and it doesn't fucking fit me anymore. I look like a jackass in it. But that was a good record.
Yeah, that's my favorite out of all of them for sure. Probably because I scream the most on it. It's just my ego kicking in, being like, "This is the one that you were on the most. This is your favorite."
This is yours.
Your magnum
This is your
opus.
child.
But I don't know.
Nice.
I'm a fan of their niches. There's a couple of songs on Treehouse that I like a lot, but for the most part, yeah, New Demons is my favorite shit.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
What you got, Eric?
Well, I got kind of a more of a music scene related question.
All right.
I guess I should probably preface this with like an easy question beforehand. Were you personally involved with any like contract signings? As far as like record labels or like deals or anything? I'm not super familiar with the industry,
Oh
but
yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, when we signed to Sumerian, like, I actually really feel bad for the music industry now, and all the up and comers that are trying to get through it. Icy Stars was super blessed to jump into it at the time we did, because as far as my knowledge is, and as far as other bands that I talk to, they don't even have like signing bonuses and shit anymore. Like, I tried to talk to I forgot what label it was. I think it was Razor and Tie, about signing Outer Glow. And I was talking to the guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "You're the guy from Icy Stars." He's like, "Yeah, signing bonuses don't happen anymore." He's like, "Bands don't get signed anymore, like, unless like you're pretty much already making profit. Like, unless like you've dumped enough of your money into it to already have a couple albums, and like you're selling merch like a motherfucker, then the label will come in nowadays and they'll put some money into promotion. They'll get you a really good producer to make your shit sound dope, things of that nature." But when we got signed, yeah, like, I read through the contract. We all pretty much sat in a circle and read through it, and until we sent back the DocuSigned email that eventually got signed by all of us. But yeah, we got lucky, and like when we got signed, we got like a $40,000 signing bonus, which was fucking sick, because
Hell yeah.
we were still playing on shitty ass Line 6 cabs and had fucking used guitars and all this different shit. And so yeah, we blew that money quick, man. Like, we got a van, got a new trailer, got all new equipment, and then whatever the rest was, like, I think we each like, I mean, shit, we each took $1,000, so that's fucking 6 G's gone right there. And then fucking the rest of it was just yeah, man. It all like, and it's weird though, because like, it, no matter what, like, you got to think of a record label like a bank almost. Like,
Yeah.
even if they give you a $40,000 signing bonus, like, it still gets recouped. So like, all that money, like, it's sweet to have that amount of money, like, but all that shit is just money that eventually we're not going to get from our record sales, basically. So
Yeah. Okay.
that's just the belly of the beast, you know?
Yeah, I gotcha. So I guess the second part of the question that I had was, because I know you've been involved with different projects. If there's been like more than one contract that you've signed or that you've been a part of, if you don't mind, you can give like the rough explanation. But what was the worst contract that you kind of fell into, and how did you end up getting out of it?
Huh. Huh.
Or if
Well,
there was
like,
any weird like fine print that you had to avoid?
no, there was never really any fine print that we had to avoid. Um, the worst contracts that I was ever handed was all these like super small indie labels that were pretty much just like, from reading the record deal, like, even like the Village Idiot could read it and be like, "This deal sucks." So like, as far as Sumerian, no, man, like, I feel like their contracts were pretty fair. I mean, split 50-50 when it comes to record sales. We get all of the revenue from our merch. I'm pretty sure they took a cut of the merch from that was sold in Hot Topic and shit like that. But for the most part, Sumerian, even though I really, really do not fucking get along with Ash Avildsen, me and that dude butt heads several times. I thought I was the shit, and like, there's a handful of times where I've like put that motherfucker in his place. But but yeah, that's another, like, I don't know. With that being said, like, this is kind of off topic, like, not really off topic when it comes to contracts, but in my opinion, that's kind of why IC Stars like kind of hit a peak when it came to New Demons, and then never really like got any bigger, because like record labels still have the power to like strongly suggest things for you to do.
Mhm.
And IC Stars were the motherfuckers that just never played ball. Like we would
Gotcha.
always disagree with the agents. We would always disagree with even like small shit. Like we would like try to say like, okay, this is the album. This is how the track. It should go. This song, this song, this song, this song, this song. Like Sumerian would literally just like disregard what we said and just like release it in the order that they wanted. Like, and we would continuously just be like, no, like it's got to be like this. It's got to be like this. And like eventually, like they're the ones that are distributing it. Like they have the power to just be like, fuck you, we're putting it this way. And like after I listened to it the way that they put it, I was just like, yeah, this is the correct order. Like this is how it should go. But like,
Okay.
to say the least, a couple of the guys in IC Stars are very, very stubborn, and I think in the long run that kind of hurt them. Like if you would have, if you play ball more with the record labels, they're gonna be more not liable. What's the word I'm looking for? Like they're gonna be more excited to like promote your shit and dump more money
Yeah.
into your shit. Like if you listen to them, and like, dude, these motherfuckers have been in the industry long time. Like Ash Avildsen, like he used to be in a metal band and shit. Like his metal band was kind of successful. Like they know the ins and outs of the industry, and I just feel like we were very stubborn about it, and like that's kind of why like they came to a standstill, to say the least.
Okay. I gotcha. Right on.
And like who knows? Like they might not even say that they're in a standstill, but I'm telling you what, I've seen them play live after I left the band, and there is not as many kids as there was like that I remember. Like we used to like sell out shows and shit like that, and the shit ain't happening no more. And that's what happens when you're an asshole and you don't listen, I guess. I don't know.
You're welcome for my money.
Yeah.
I think Ash should be thanking you for his money in the fucking Benz that he's driving.
Oh God.
He should be thanking IC Stars and asking Alexandria.
I mean, yep. You nailed it, buddy. You fucking nailed it.
That's another band though too, actually, that those motherfuckers are just straight rich. Like
yeah,
fucking, those motherfuckers are paid.
Oh, I'm sure, dude.
I'm pretty sure their first album like went platinum or some shit.
Oh yeah, that shit. That's
plus they're selling all those records in the U.S. and an equal amount in fucking the U.K. That's another thing too. Like you think, oh, like we have this huge following in U.S. We're gonna go over to Europe and fucking sell out shows and be ballers. Fuck no, dude. We got paid $100 a show in Europe and fucking maybe like playing in front of like
damn.
It's like playing sold out shows in America, and then you go over to UK and you're playing in front of 15 kids in Germany. It's fucking weird.
It's like kind of like starting all over again is what it sounds like.
Oh yeah,
the whole different circuit.
Yeah, like I mean the word alive has a decent following over in Europe now, but those motherfuckers have toured there so much. Like now they have a following after touring there multiple times a year for fucking like 6 years or some shit.
Wow.
It takes forever. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean Europe is a interesting place to say the least. They got some characters. I'm afraid of German people. I am.
Yeah, you get a story behind that?
Oh, I have 2 stories behind that. Shit. So we go to play this venue in Cologne, Germany. It's the first day of the European tour. It's us, For the Fallen Dreams, and The Word Alive, and Upon a Burning Body. The first fucking day of the tour, one of the dudes from For the Fallen Dreams got drunk as fuck and thought that somebody stole his MacBook from the green room. So he proceeded to take this large ass Buddha statue at the top of the stairs in the green room and throw it down the stairs and shatter it all over the place.
Oh, no.
And apparently it was like a $2,000 statue or some shit. So that got us all banned from the venue in Cologne. And also the first night of the venue in Cologne, I got so blackout drunk from drinking absinthe that I lost my passport and my iPhone. I ended up finding my passport from the bartender. Dylan Richter, the lead singer of For the Fallen Dreams, tried to fight my guitarist and me at the same time. Then I talked him out of it. He later on proceeded to get into bar brawl inside of the venue, and also the fucking the security guard. The security guard terrified me. Like I was in the green room drinking a beer, and I threw the beer in the trash can, and this big ass muscly German dude, straight skinhead dude, like shaved head, fucking 6 foot tall, 300 pounds. He reaches in the garbage can and pulls out the beer bottle, and he just goes, "Here in Germany, we recycle," and fucking slams it into the fucking recycling bin. And I was just like, okay, these motherfuckers hate me.
Yes,
Damn.
sir.
That's the first story. And the second
I
story,
was fucking thinking that.
the last day of the tour was also in Germany, and this huge ass German dude, like something like everyone was drunk. We ended up getting into this fucking street fight. I didn't get into the fight. All the other motherfuckers in the bus were fighting, brawling with these motherfuckers on the street. This big ass dude punches the tour manager, which was like some Swedish dude, I think, and his face literally just, his nose was flattened and he was bleeding all over the face.
Ooh.
Super fucked up. Next thing you know, again, Dylan Richter from For the Fallen Dreams comes in. He fucking runs into the bus and grabs a beer bottle, and everyone else fucking seems to think that it's a good idea to grab a beer bottle too. And next thing you know, I'm standing in the fucking doorway of the bus looking out, and it's literally just a beer bottle snowball fight.
Oh my god.
All these motherfuckers just chucking beer bottles at each other, and like I was just like, yeah, I ain't getting into this shit.
No, I'm good. I'm gonna take a rain check.
The guitar player from The Word Alive, Zach, he ended up getting fucking hit in the back of the head with a beer bottle, and it fucking broke open the back of his head.
Oh my
And the
god.
thing that's fucked up about it is it wasn't even from one of the German dudes. It was a friendly fire. Like,
Oh
some
my gosh.
drunk motherfucker from the bus like went to go throw it at the German people and fucking just pelted him in the back of the head.
Jeez.
What the fuck?
So yeah, man, like I ain't gonna tell my story about Montreal, but fucking to say the least, like my two least favorite places on the planet Earth is Germany and Montreal, Canada.
Okay.
Kind of want to
fair
know the
enough.
Montreal story, but if it's not time to play, I get it. I get it if you don't want to talk about it.
I'll just
I'm
make
gonna
it
respect that.
I'll just make it super short. I ended up like we were down in the green room and like I was single at the time. Some girl ended up this story actually kind of ties into a small story with Maddie Mullins as well from Memphis Mayfire. But this girl like ended up just like she was into me, and this girl ended up just like whipping her titties out at me in the green room. And like I ain't gonna lie, they were pretty nice. So I was just like, all right, let's take care of this. We ended up going up into a little side green room and like whatever. We were fooling around and shit like that. And to say the least, I got whiskey dick. Shit wasn't working. And I was just like, yo, I'm sorry, like this ain't gonna happen. And like keep in mind that this bitch speaks no English. She only speaks French. So she ended up getting like all butthurt about it and shit like that. She ended up lying to the venue owner and the sound guy and said that I tried to rape her. So then I go down to the stage, and the motherfuckers from the venue have my passport and my wallet in their hand, and they're just like, we called the cops, fucking you're not getting this back until the cops get here, blah blah, this and that. The girl straight up runs towards me and tries to fucking hit me with a haymaker. Luckily I was coherent enough to just like catch her hand.
Yeah.
But then yeah, like I ended up like just waiting in the fucking bus or the van at the time, and I ended up going to the bar where all of the where everyone was at. Like my bass player came back, we ended up going to the bar, and the bitch that said I raped her was fucking there. And like I went up to her and I was just like, you're telling these motherfuckers that I raped you and shit? You're full of shit. Everybody saw you whip your titties out at me in the green room. And she's just like, it's not my problem anymore. Like, and I was just like, oh fuck. Dude.
Okay,
Oh,
bitch. Listen here.
Worst fucking night of my life, dude.
Yeah.
It turns out that they ended up giving my passport and my wallet to the bus driver of Memphis Mayfire, which used to be like a really good friend. He used to be the driver for Icy Stars, thank God. But
Yeah.
like then to go to the Maddie Mullins part of it, the next day we play a show in America, and Maddie Mullins comes up to me and he just goes, it sucks that you almost had sex with a chick that had her head shaved or some shit, because the girl had like super short hair. And I swear to God, man, like there was, I can't remember what it was, but like there was one time where like I was really drunk and Maddie Mullins was talking shit. Like I was cracking jokes and like Maddie Mullins was just like, you just think you're so fucking funny, don't you? And like I literally dropped my backpack and fucking just gave him like, I'm gonna kill you eyes. And like ever since, that motherfucker has just avoided me like multiple times, like walking down in between the buses and Warped Tour and shit like that. And like Maddie would be walking towards me, and I'd see him like turn the corner and try to hide. And
Oh, jeez.
like that kid, because like, dude, I don't know, man. Like when I was like a fucking active alcoholic, and like I had some rage in me, dude. Like I was probably kind of a scary motherfucker. Like I feared nobody, dude. Like
Terrified of you.
I'm pretty sure I tried to like fight the vocalist from Thy Art Is Murder, and like this motherfucker is gigantic.
Yes, he
He's
is.
like
He is.
like 6.5 foot tall, like fucking 300 pounds, and like I literally was just like about to scrap this dude. Like obviously I would have got my ass beat, but I didn't fear shit, dude.
Fuck it.
It was fucking-
Liquid courage.
Hell yeah, dude.
No kidding.
yeah, it's pretty. I was a loose cannon back in the day, but
That's wild.
That's sick.
now I'm just a normal ass dude.
What's your question, Kyle?
Bro, after that story, I don't know what to fucking I think I might just be done here. I mean, that was fucking the greatest story I've ever heard in my life. I'm not even kidding. That was great. It had everything I love. It had alcohol, it had titties, and it had fighting. I can say no more.
America.
America.
And then
Except
I-
Ireland, apparently.
with all the drugs and alcohol, obviously there's just like the copious amounts of one night stands that go along with it as well.
Hmm,
Fair enough.
I
And to
bet.
say, like, just to bring it up, even though you guys didn't ask it, the whole entire like thing, like, is it easier to like get chicks and stuff like when you're in a successful band? Like, the answer is yes. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's handy.
I don't think that's a question. I think it's just that should be common sense. Obviously, fuck, everyone knows who you are.
for the
It's a great
sheer like diligence of the souls of like the females that I've been with in the past, like I'll just never reveal my number. To say the least, like I've just lost count. It's
Fair enough.
Good for you, honestly.
pretty
Like, kudos, man.
Well played.
Well played, indeed.
it's a very big surprise it hasn't fallen off, to say the least.
At least you're not itching down there.
Yeah. That's
Oh yeah,
good.
man. For sure. I'm very glad that never happened as well.
Yeah, no shit.
Do you
Wink,
actually
wink.
have a question, Kyle, or were you like serious?
Did I ever say I had a question? I don't. Did I? I don't remember.
Your second question.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, I have some basic ass questions that aren't fun, but like, who is your favorite band to tour with, my guy?
Favorite band to tour with? We were always really, I mean, shit, honestly, probably The Word Alive. I mean, we toured so much that we just became really good friends. I always loved touring with The Word Alive, and we were really, back in the day, we were really cool with the guys in Our Last Night as well.
Word, that's dope. Like, do you keep in contact with anyone that you either in Icy Stars with, or anyone you toured with? Like, are you still cool with anyone, or
Not really, man. Like,
yeah,
honestly, like that's the kind of thing. Like, a good term I like to use is like I forgot where I heard it from, but it's kind of like single serving friend kind of. It's just like it kind of seemed like once I was out of the band and shit like that, like no one really hit me up. Like
okay,
the only person really like I had minor contact with was the bass player from The Word Alive, and he ended up quitting The Word Alive and doing some shit. But yeah, I mean, after a while, man, like it was more so like the people that I talked to was just like fans that hit me up and shit. Like there's this one kid that lives down in North Carolina named Thomas Alford that I actually ended up hanging out with a whole bunch after I was in the band and shit like that. And yeah, man, at this point it's more so just like if people hit me up, if they want advice on like writing songs or like what software to use and shit like that, like I'm kind of just like a music engineer nerd nowadays.
You're easy to get a hold
You're
of
the-
now.
yeah. Kind of like the guru people want to go to strengthen their sound.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, like if it's more so like making beats and like electronics is my specialty. Like if you're trying to ask me like how to get like good guitar tones and shit like that, like I'm not the guy to go to. But if you want some sick rap beats or like some sick beats for like pop, like get at me. I guarantee you that my prices are like the cheapest out there. I'll
Hell
do it.
yeah.
Do it for next to nothing.
Damn.
Perfect.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that
I
might
know who I'm
actually be
going
good
to
to
in the
know.
future.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, like maybe at some point tag my email and motherfuckers can get at me. I do that shit for like $20 a track.
Bet.
Shit.
That
$20 a track. Easy.
okay? Okay.
Yeah, we'll have all your shit and the description and all that.
Oh
Cool,
yeah,
cool.
100%.
First up.
Hell yeah.
I was gonna ask you a question. What is all this stuff you got in the back there on the shelves? Like, are those
Oh,
those,
Him?
are those those little like bobblehead things?
Me or him?
You.
Robbie.
Yeah,
Oh,
you.
me. Okay,
Yeah.
so those are just Funko Pops.
Funko Pops. Okay.
Yeah, they're not like bobbleheads or anything, but each
Oh
one.
yeah. I was wondering what those things were. Like, I feel like I've seen them at GameStop and shit before.
Oh, yeah, they're
yeah,
everywhere.
they're just little like action figures, but
Okay.
yeah, nothing crazy about them. One of them is the main character from like the PUBG game. The other one is Shadow the Hedgehog, and then this one
Ooh.
is the SpongeBob from the Sweet Victory episode where they were all in a band together. Yeah.
You may be
My
the
camera
only other
froze.
person that I know that used to fuck with Dreamcast.
Oh, dude, that was the first console
Like,
that I actually like played on,
Mhm.
even before I got my N64.
Dude, I
Fuck
fucking
yeah.
love. I spent hours in the Cheo Garden.
Yep. I just bought that game maybe like 2 months ago. It's on Steam now, so I can play it on PC.
I'm about to download that shit tonight.
Yeah, dude, it's like $10-15, but it was so worth it.
Yeah,
Shadow.
to give you a slight thing of like where my gaming is at as far as like I just now this year played Batman Arkham City. Like that's
Okay.
how far like
Yeah,
Whoa.
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
if I can play it on my iMac and it's only like $20 or $30, sure, but
Yeah.
I ain't buying
Yeah.
no PS4 or buying $100 games. Fuck that.
Oh no. There's a lot of those actually Steam once in a while will do like Dreamcast sales where they'll take like games like Sonic Adventure 2 or Crazy Taxi and they'll do a whole sale on that entire bundle. So
Word.
I Steam has a lot of my money and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like all the classics. I've been playing a lot of like GameCube games recently, using emulators and stuff, and that's just kind of been my kick. So
Do you ever go as far as back as like games from like Sega Genesis and shit, like Streets of Rage
yeah.
and Golden Axe?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
actually have a copy of Golden Axe. So
Fuck yeah.
it's wonderful. But yeah, I mean I still play games like Call of Duty and shit like that, but you know, I can't let go of the classics. Like I went far enough to download every single GameCube game that was ever released in the States. And
Word.
it takes up like half a terabyte of storage on my computer. Like I have every single one of them. I don't play them. I mean, I play some of them, but I haven't gone through the entire list. But I have them because I needed it for science.
For science.
For science.
For my mental
So,
health.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly, for mental health. But a lot of the other stuff that I have back here, it's all just like these 3 boxes are just like from part of my setup, and then I've got a lot of trinkets and shit that I've collected over the years, and I like shiny things, and if I see that I want it, I buy it, and that's
I
it.
feel that. Yeah, I
But-
do the same thing. Like some of the like VST plugins and shit I use, like because all the equipment that I use now is all bought. But like I'll have like my little like Omnisphere Spectre, like it's like a synth or whatever. Like I have like the little box sitting there just so like people know it's legit and shit. I'm like, I
Yeah.
got my serial numbers, bitch.
Yep. Yeah, because I started building like Lego sets and stuff, and I knew that I wanted something to like put on my shelves for, you know, behind the camera or whatever you want to call it. And then I just started putting up everything that just kind of filled the space, and it just works.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, shit, man. I don't mean to dip out on you guys, but my dog is barking to get let out. So
no, you're good, man. We appreciate
Oh,
you
word,
being
dude.
here. It was
man.
awesome.
Yeah, thanks for coming out tonight.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
man. I'll hit you
Thank
guys
you
up
again,
on
man.
Discord.
All
Yeah,
right.
sounds
Alrighty,
like a
bro.
plan, dude.
Have a
Have a
great
great
night.
night.
See ya.
All
Yeah.
right, peace out, man.
See ya. Well, what a dude.
Dude,
That was a really good
that was
episode.
fucking awesome.
I had
Yeah,
one
that
more
was fucking
question,
sick.
but he already answered it. If the record label needed him to maintain an image, and it seemed like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say a couple of the questions that I had were pretty much gone through
Yeah.
I am
in story time. So
we'll have to.
We're done recording.
No,
No.
No.
we'll have to get him on again, and
Yeah. Yeah.
because he's got some killer fucking stories. Just-
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm more than likely going to hit him up in the next week or two for some DMCA free tracks because
yeah.
that's
I bet.
right up my alley.
yeah,
Like as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, big brain play. Like,
Green Beats.
yeah,
Intro
exactly.
jingle.
Yep.
Well, that
So-
was a great fucking episode. He told his side of the story, and told some crazy stories. Him choking Austin Carlisle and ready to fucking beat Maddie Mullen's ass, and
Oh yeah.
a
A lot of middle school memories came up when he started talking about some of the people that he's worked with.
yeah,
So that-
mentioned Chiodos, and I'm like,
As soon as he said
What?
Chiodo, I was like, oh,
yeah,
I'm back. But
You're fangirling, Kyle.
What?
what?
They're fangirling.
I'm fangirling?
No, they.
No,
You're
Eric
wrong.
and Rob.
Oh, I thought he said Kyle's fangirl. I'm like, what?
That's what I heard
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I don't have any other topic to talk about.
I don't
Do you
Yeah.
guys?
I don't have any content.
No?
Really,
I'll
that
be
was
honest.
really
You have anything, Kyle?
I already said I don't have any content.
You sure you don't have anything you want to say?
Yeah, you sure? Nothing
mean-
at all?
anything.
Uh,
Bueller.
I mean, I'm gonna be 100% real with you guys right now. I gotta piss so bad. Like
Okay.
my kidneys hurt.
All right, Kyle,
Okay.
go pee.
Go.
We'll keep going.
Okay, buddy.
Oh, okay. Well, all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, you just go do your business, buddy.
I thought he was in his boxers for a second.
I did too. I had to do a double take, and I shouldn't have. But I would also like to point out, I know I talked about this at the beginning of this episode, but I would like to table dick for just a moment and point out the fact that I got a brand new graphics card and Alex still has not. So
Boom.
the dick has been tabled.
Yes.
Hey, they took my money for the brand new graphics card.
Yeah, and then gave it right back to you. They said, "Sorry, you're not good enough."
I got it delivered. So
Yeah, he's not getting
Within, like,
anything delivered.
yeah, I got it delivered within like 48
No.
hours. Payment. So
It's
That's pretty
just DiGiorno, not delivery.
yeah. So I just wanted to spice it up a little bit, but yeah,
Man, that
no,
was a fucking
he was a super cool dude, and like,
Yeah.
I mean, I know you guys know about it, but for the viewers and listeners that don't, I struggled with addiction for a really long time, and I'm gonna be 7 years clean in April, so that's pretty cool. But a lot of the stuff that he was talking about, like recovering from addiction and things like that, that really hit me, and that's why I kind of stepped back for a minute. Was like just some of the stuff that he was mentioning about, living that lifestyle. Like, obviously, I'm not a music person by any means, but I lived that addictive lifestyle and having that addictive gene and, going through all that. Like, I totally understood that. So, some of the shit that he was kind of pulling out, I was like, damn, like I can really relate to some of this stuff. And I guess as like a fame comparison or a popularity comparison, I don't really know how you want to label it, but it goes to show that like even through all the bad shit and all the good shit, like people can still connect on a lot of different things. So I thought that was pretty dope. And it shows that he's just like a genuine dude just getting his life back together. And I don't know, I thought that was pretty cool.
yeah.
Like,
He kind of
and I-
like what?
10 out of 10 in my book.
Yeah, he kind of breaks the fourth wall a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
gives you a look into like, hey, I had all this shit like going on, and this is not really what a downfall was, but this is
Mhm.
what led to the ultimate decision. And like he said, at first he was salty, but he totally fucking gets it now.
Oh yeah.
I do agree the band could have probably went about it a lot better. That was shitty. Very
Oh, yeah,
shitty how it happened. But yeah, talking to people that have been on, what do you say, Jimmy Kimmel and
Mhm.
all this shit, and from like the interviews and stuff that I've watched with him in the band, he started out super young, like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
having that kind of fame and developing like a alcohol addiction and whatever the hell else. It's
Mhm.
bound to happen when you're just kind of flung into like he said when he was sitting in the record label owner's house, he's like, holy fuck, this is happening. You
Yep.
know, it's
Yep. And those really, those really hard habits that can quite literally control your life. Those are really easy to fall into very young. And when you're just in that environment, and people just literally hand shit to you, it's like, okay.
yeah,
Oh yeah, it's easy to fall into it.
And for some people, it's not necessarily like, oh, I want to do this, or like I want to get high, or I want to get really fucked up. Like for some people, it's not about that. It's more like somebody is offering me something. I don't want to say no, but I've never done this before.
right.
That's what
Mhm.
can kind of like lead into everything else. Like it becomes a spiraling effect. So, like I said,
Great
it was
episode.
it was it was really cool. I thought he was a cool dude. So,
Yeah, good
Oh
guy.
yeah.
and he
Kyle?
asked me questions about my stuff. I thought that was great.
Yeah,
That
So-
was a bad time for me to come back because without all the context, yeah,
Yeah, that's okay. So,
it's all right.
got anything you want to talk about, buddy?
Yeah, Kyle.
I mean, are you guys talking about what I discussed with you like yesterday?
yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
literally, I was very oblivious.
You're good. Go with the flow.
So, don't what?
Huh?
He's nervous.
I'm
He's stalling.
Come
on.
Yeah, so yeah, this is gonna be about the most I've ever talked on the show. So, with sadness, but I mean, a bittersweet thing is about to happen. So, for the near future, I will be leaving the podcast due to some things in my own life, and there's some things I want to do, and there's just some things I got to work out. One is, I want to pay some more attention to my company, and if that means giving up some hobbies and things I like doing, especially with some of my best friends. I mean, it sucks, but I mean, it's not like I'm not going to talk to these guys every single day when I wake up from when I go to sleep, things like that. But for now, Quiet Kyle will be no more for a little bit. But of course, on the weekends, I mean, you guys can still catch me at twitch.tv/casual_Sasquatch. So shameless self promotion. Don't care. But yeah, there's just some things I got to deal with personally, and just some changes in my life that are happening. So maybe I'll be back. Maybe it's only temporary. Maybe I'll just come on as a guest every once in a while. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't know if that's what you guys wanted me to talk about, but
No, we wanted
Okay.
you to talk about your porn addiction.
oh yeah, that too. Yeah, guys, I have
Yeah.
a raging hentai
All
problem.
right. So that was Leftovers at Midnight, whatever fucking episode with Zach Johnson, aka Zachy J, former unclean singer, screamer dude from Icy Stars and Outer Glow. Super cool dude. All of his links and everything are going to be in the little box below us. I don't know if it's still called the description or not. Yeah, so be sure to check him out. Get some beats made, like I said, like $20 a track, super cheap. Do your thing. Go support him. Same way we've all supported him throughout the years.
Yeah.
And with that being said, Quiet Kyle, we love you. We're not going to forget that you were part of this show. But there is potential for just a 3-man show for a little bit. Maybe a 4-man. Depends. Might just be a threesome. Who knows?
Threesome, foursome, either or.
Yeah.
But let it be known that whether it remains a 3-man show after this, or whether a 4th or even 5th person comes in, that we're not replacing Kyle. We're
Right.
just filling another chair. Like
Mhm.
that should be kind of the tone that's set. Like, we're not replacing you. We're just filling a different chair. So, like, moral of the story, dude, you've always got a spot. You're one of the leftovers at midnight. So
You can stop before I start crying now.
That's-
Like,
ugh.
I don't know.
no, but I love these guys, and whoever you guys bring on, I mean, they're gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. The show's gonna be great. And I mean, my name's Quiet Kyle. I mean, I'll always be here in a spirit of some sort. Literally, just tape a picture to me on someone's other monitor. Tape a picture of me to your desk, guys. I will be there.
Just in 480p quality.
I prefer 144, but okay.
Same thing.
Anytime there's dead air, it's Kyle.
Yep.
Damn,
144p quality with a mic that keeps peaking.
Oh,
Hell yeah. Always peak. If you're not peaking, you're really not living life to the edge.
All right, everybody. You
All
got
right.
anything to say?
Nope. Just don't forget to microwave your toaster strudels.
Put those
And
things in a toaster.
toast your Pop
What?
Tarts.
Yep.
I don't
Okay.
want to live on this earth
All right.
anymore.
That's a wrap. Bye.
Wrapping it.
Bye.